Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Alvaro. I'm from TPI 6A, and I want to tell you about hortatory exposition. It was the material of 11th grade of senior high school. Now, let's get started. So, what is hortatory exposition? You may don't know, but I'll tell you in the next slide. So, a hortatory exposition is a type of spoken or written text that is intended to explain the listeners or readers that something should or should not happen or be done. The main function of hortatory exposition text is to persuade the readers or listener that something should or should not be the case. To strengthen the explanation, the speaker or writer needs some more arguments as the fundamental reason of the given idea. In other words, this kind of text can be called as argumentation. And then, on the next slide, I will tell you about the difference between hortatory exposition and analytical exposition. The difference of analytical and hortatory exposition is on the term of its generic structure. In the last part of that is called as reiteration in analytical and recommendation in hortatory exposition. The function of both is quite different. In analytical expositions, reiteration is used to give emphasis on the writer's opinion by restating point of view, while in hortatory exposition, recommendation is used to give advice or such as a suggestion to the readers to make a choice by considering the presented arguments. In short, the purpose of hortatory exposition text is to argue a case for against a particular position or point of view, and it purposes a suggestion in the end of the argumentation. The next slide is the characteristic of hortatory and analytical exposition consists of: first is generic structure. The characteristic of generic structure is thesis. It presents announcement of issues of concern. And then arguments. It presents the reasons for concern leading to recommendation. And then recommendation. It presents the statement of what ought or ought not to happen. Second is lexicogrammatical features. First is focus on generic human and non-human participants. Second, the use matter processes. Third is using present tense. And fourth, using conjunction. Next slide. Language features of hortatory exposition. First is abstract noun. An abstract noun is a word which names something that you cannot see, hear, touch, smell, or taste. It is the opposite of concrete noun. Example is consideration, parenthood, belief, etc. And then is action verb. An action verb expresses something that a person, animal, or object can do. For example, watch, talk, explode, reach, etc. And then temporal connection. We will refer to a temporal connective as an expression which relates an event to a point or an interval in time. For example, firstly, secondly, thirdly, and etc. And the next slide is modal auxiliaries. Here's the list of modal verb in English. You can see that it consists of can, could, may, might, will, would, must, shall, should, and ought to. Coherence and cohesion in hortatory exposition. Coherence means the connection of ideas at the idea level, and cohesion means the connection of ideas at the sentence level. Basically, coherence refers to the rhetorical aspects of your writing, which includes developing and supporting your argument, thesis statement development, synthesizing and integrating readings, organization, and clarifying ideas. And then, in other words, coherence means that the paragraph is easy to read and understand because the supporting sentences are in some kind of logical order and the ideas are connected by the use of appropriate translation signals. And then, the cohesion of writing focuses on the grammatical aspects of writing. Cohesion is part of the text forming component in the linguistic system. It is a mean whereby structurally unrelated elements are linked together through the dependence of one on the other for its interpretation. Next is I will explain about types of cohesion, and they are: first is grammatical cohesion. Number one, reference. Reference refers to the dependent relationship between the referring and the referred in the text. Second is substitution, the use of proforms. Third is ellipsis, omission of elements which are retrievable from context. Fourth is conjunction, signals relationship between discourse segments such as and, but, or, thought, then, and because. And then the B is lexical cohesion. First is reiteration, repetition of lexical item in various forms. Second is collocation, association of lexical items that regularly co-occur due to some recognizable lexicosemantic relation. So that is for my explanation. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.